Hi and welcome back to RMAC Outdoor Productions. Today I'm fishing at Dexter Reservoir near Lowell, Oregon. I catch primarily rainbows, although that's not what I was targeting. I was actually trying to catch walleye and northern pike minnow, but instead I stumbled onto a whole pile of nice rainbows. This first fish is a pretty nice rainbow that I caught using a Rapala ripstop minnow, which is one of my favorite lures, in the F9 size. And you can see it's a pretty nice fish, 12 or 14 inches. This next fish is kind of a surprise, but not really. It's a really nice smallmouth bass, probably 2.5 or 3 pounds. It ate a goby soft plastic bait, but it mimics sculpin really well. I am fishing in close proximity to Lookout Point Reservoir Dam in Dexter Reservoir. I am close enough to the dam that there is a pretty good current here in this part of the lake. My casting technique was to slow roll a pair of jigs along the bottom with the current. My top bait for this was a 3-inch Do-It crappie carrot that I molded myself. The bottom bait was the sculpin goby bait I'm talking about in a 3-inch size. Okay, here's the same fish from my hat cam. I'm showing you this because you can see my red and white crappie carrot that's on the top, and then on the bottom in the smallmouth's mouth is the sculpin bait. I've got it on a 1/8 ounce jig head and a 3-inch sculpin bait. You can see the bait pretty clearly here. When it is in the water, I can say that it is a pretty dead-on imitation. I tried several other baits with minimal success. I tried some swim baits. I tried trolling a walleye type worm harness, and only ended up catching mostly rainbow. I did catch 2 walleye, but I didn't get them on film. This fish right here is a really nice rainbow. I'm gonna say that it's 18 or 20 inches, and it's big enough that I needed to net it. Takes me a little while to net this fish. The water is still pretty warm, even though it is December 4th. The water temp is 47 or 48 degrees, and for rainbows, that means they're still pretty active. So this fish was actually fighting me pretty hard. Definitely had to pull it out from under the boat a little bit, and once I get it in the net, you'll be able to see when I swing the net towards the camera that it's a pretty good sized fish. The other cool thing about this fish is it had an adipose fin, and so all the fish that get stocked in this lake, all the rainbows, are hatchery fish that have a clipped adipose fin. This fish had an adipose fin and may or may not be wild. It's a really nice fish regardless. There it is. Okay, this next fish I caught on a walleye style worm harness. It's another pretty nice rainbow. I was fishing a whole night crawler, and I was trolling this little bit softer current, and ended up hooking up on a pretty nice rainbow. The bottom here was not a uniform depth, so on top of my beads I have a spin glow to have the night crawler float off the bottom a little bit, and it kept me relatively snag free. Another nice 12 or 14 inch sized rainbow. These fish were really fat. I could barely get my hands around them. Okay, after trying several different swim baits and some different grubs, I ended up going to a 4-inch sculpin bait on a 3/4 ounce head. Up ahead of me you can see the dam, and there's a rotary screw trap in the lake right there catching whatever is coming out from the dam. I was walking this sculpin bait right along the bottom, so my lead head would tick a little bit and then I would reel up just to keep it barely above the bottom. And I was getting a lot of little strikes, and I thought they were little smallmouth, but they weren't. I started setting a hook on them, and they turned out it was rainbows that were biting it. Pretty nice fish. That one's about 14 inches. Alright, we got another rainbow on. Once again on the sculpin bait. I did catch 2 walleyes on this bait that I didn't get on film. I didn't get it turned on fast enough, and they kicked off right at the boat as I was trying to film them. As you can see, this one's a little bigger fish. This one's probably 16 inches, and really just a cool thing. Not what I was expecting to catch, but I'll take some 12 to 16 inch rainbow all day long. Sure will. Okay, now this is one of the fish that I was targeting. This is a really big northern pike minnow. This is hands down the biggest northern pike minnow I have ever caught, even ever seen. I've seen a couple that were maybe 3 or 4 pounds. I bet this fish is a solid 7 or 8 pounds, maybe a little more. I didn't measure it, which I probably should have. I wasn't thinking, I was just fishing. I estimate it to be a 26 or 28 inch fish, which would make it a 7 or 8 pound fish very easily. As I was fighting it, I was hoping it was a really big walleye. The people that worked the screw trap told me that they had released a really big walleye out of the screw trap, and it was headed down towards me. So I was hoping that's what I was going to catch. But not so much. Giant pike minnow. For a full episode, check me out on Patreon, and thanks for watching.